Murph. How you doing today?
Travis, how are you doing?
I cannot complain, sir. I cannot complain. Now, we've kind of gotten into this debate about the best route from Tuscaloosa to Mobile. What is the Patrick Murphy signature route from Tuscaloosa to Mobile? Do you have one for us?
Man, I think I don't know all the road numbers, but the one that goes straight down.
Just straight down, 69.
Yeah. Not the interstate. Either way.
Okay.
I know some people like to go into Mississippi.
Yeah, that's kind of been the debate today,
Yeah, I'd say it's half and half.
So much sports to talk about, Murph, and we're sitting here debating routes from Mobile to Tuscaloosa and back. But when you make that trip, as we know, going to have a lot of familiar faces in that Alabama contingent. Certainly going to miss, though, three of the important seniors that you had from a year ago. And certainly when you talk about the circle, as good as Alexis Asorio is an All-American and certainly a luxury to have her back to build a team around. Talk about the departure of Sydney Littlejohn as one of your top two pitchers and how you kind of sit right now in terms of trying to replace all those innings, all those wins that she gave to you during her Alabama career.
Well, first I gotta tell you, all your listeners too, that you and your wife have been two of the nicest people I've met in Tuscaloosa, and always been extremely nice to me. So I appreciate that. Little John, last year, we it was probably 3 weeks left in the season, and I asked my SID Nathan Sheehan and a couple managers to go through some stats with me on a road trip one time, and we printed off every box score that we played up until that time, and it was probably 50 games. And the only objective was to write good start or bad start on the box score and put one in one pile and the other in the other. And every single game that Little John started was a good start. She gave us a chance to win every single time, and it ended her senior year that way. She did everything we asked and more. She won midweek games for us. She won SEC games. She pitched her butt off against Minnesota in regionals. She was terrific. And Chandler Dare, probably one of the hardest workers we've ever had from ACA right here in town. We're going to miss her competitive fire. And then Marissa Runyon, who was a third-team All-American her sophomore year and broke our RBI record, and was just a steady player for us. Had some big hits down the stretch for us. We lose those three, but we have 6 seniors. And I just got done talking to the Kiwanis Club here in town, and it's weird because I spoke to a coaches clinic up in Philadelphia this weekend, and I talked about some of the teams in our history, and almost every single time where we had 6 seniors, we had a hell of a team. And the year we won the national championship, the year we won 29 games in a row, we had 6 seniors on the team. And this year, we have 6 seniors again. So maybe that's a good thing. And then we have 6 newcomers, which I love the balance between the two. We have 5 freshmen and a junior college pitcher from Florida Southwestern who's originally from New Zealand. And you got to talk to her. You got to meet her, Travis. She's just a great young lady with the best accent you'll ever hear. I can't wait for the media to meet her because she's awesome.
Roll Kiwi,
That's right.
Make it happen.
That's right.
And that is Courtney. That's Courtney Gittens, by the way.
Yes.
As you said, the junior college transfer. Now, did she play for Ryan E. Murray's dad down there? Is that right?
She played for Robert. He started the program. It was a brand new junior college. They play, I think, at the old Red Sox Park in Fort Myers. And the school bought the whole facility. And the baseball team plays, obviously in the big stadium. But the softball team reconfigured one of the practice fields and made it their stadium. They have clubhouse, they have training room, they have a weight room. I mean, it's probably the best facility in the country for junior college, but he started it 2 years ago, and he was at a tournament, I don't remember where, but it was somewhere in South Florida, and the New Zealand junior team was there, and he goes up to the coach and said, I like your pitcher, I like your shortstop, and I like your first baseman. I'm starting a brand new program. And the more they talked, all three of them went there. And for both seasons, they went to the national championship tournament out in Utah for junior colleges. So it was a heck of a good start for him. But Courtney was first-team All-American both years, and all three of those kids are now playing at different Division I. So he was a heck of a good coach, and he's the one that obviously told us about her, that you need to come down and check her out. And, I'm really, really glad we did, because nobody knew that Maddie Moore was going to have to retire because of injuries this fall.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been not good with only two on staff. So we're very fortunate that Courtney's on our roster.
You look at Alexis Asorio, the career numbers, mind-boggling. All-American, no doubt. One of the very best in the circle in all of the college game. With all that said, how can that type of talent, that type of performer as a senior improve over what we've seen in the first 3 years of Alexis Asorio at Alabama?
Well, I just told all the good people at the Kiwanis Club that this is like our version of Sean Alexander, Joe Namath, Bart Starr, Tua, and this is it for her. So if there's a listener out there that hasn't seen her pitch, they need to see her pitch, and they need to sit behind home plate to watch the ball move, because it is a treat. And when she's on, it's scary good. We played, I think it was Oklahoma last year or 2 years ago. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but literally 13 kids struck out in a row, and only one kid fouled a pitch off. And,
wow.
We're not playing, School of the Blind. We're playing Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And when she gets on a roll like that, she can be devastating. So I know that Coach Prothrow always has some tricks up her sleeve, because it's just like every other athlete in the SEC. If you see somebody for 4 years, we have way too many good coaches and way too many good players that, if you do the same thing over and over and over, they're going to catch up with you at some point. And she is, even though she's that good, Steph has done some good things with her in the bullpen, and they always like to add something different to a pitch or a different pitch. And she threw yesterday in a little mini scrimmage that I thought she was throwing harder than she ever has. So she still has, to me, one of the best rise balls we've ever had, the best curveball in college softball. She's adding like a drop curve. She's got a nice off speed. And then every now and then she'll throw a screwball, which is the ball that either cuts into a righty or goes away from a lefty. So she's been a really good role model and a leader for the two newbies, because we have the other pitcher is a true freshman. She was the Missouri Player of the Year. And she's a lefty, a tall, lanky. I think you'll like her. She's kind of crafty. Got some really good movement on her ball, and she pitched really well in the scrimmage on Saturday. So I'm anxious to see what she can do. And with Courtney and her, they're complete opposites. One's a righty, one's a lefty. One throws up, one throws down. So it's going to be fun to kind of mix and match them against an opponent.
Murph, as we let you go, you open the season February the 8th at South Alabama. I've noticed that you guys start seasons on the road. I think the last time you guys opened a season at home was 2010. I'm sure you've answered this, but what's kind of the thought process behind that?
I think, going on the road, we're 2 weekends in a row, you're right. We go to Southern Miss the second weekend, but we're going to Mobile for Peyton Grantham and Gabby Calloway, who are both from that area. And we like to go where the girls are from. First reason, though, is go hopefully somewhere warmer, give our fans a little break that are, that would be freezing at home. Mm-hmm. It's worked out for the most part. We've always gone somewhere, and it's turned out to be good weather. The people in Mobile at the first we play at South Alabama, but in the weekend we play in a tournament at Gulf Shores, and that's probably the most organized tournament we go to that's not on a college campus. And the people come out in droves. We had over 1,500 4 or 5 years ago when we went down there for the first time, and just a fun atmosphere. The beach is right there. And then the next weekend we go to Southern Miss for Reagan Dykes, who's from Collins, Mississippi, and they'll have a record crowd. And we've already heard from alums from over there that they're getting excited. So that's kind of the two reasons that they worked into the schedule. And then basically it's two homecomings for two players on our team.